Vasudevaya. Vasudevaya. Ate Vasudevaya. Eva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtike Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरों वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथं नितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणलङ्का शिवशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Asya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurati. Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharuni Nirvishesha Prashalam Bangam Gayate Gimukti Patagam Valide Shri Guru Dinataranam. So we are continuing our reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, Text 14. Rishibhi yachito bheje navamam parthivam vapuh dukhe man oshadir vipras dinayam sa asa ushattamah. O Brahmanas, in the ninth incarnation, the Lord, prayed for by sages, accepted the body of a king, Prithu, who cultivated the land to yield various produces. Before the advent of King Prithu, there was great havoc of maladministration due to the vicious life of the previous king, the father of Maharaj Prithu. The intelligent class of men, namely the sages and brahmanas, not only prayed for the Lord to come down, but also dethroned the previous king. It is the duty of the king to be pious and thus look after the all-round welfare of the citizen. Whenever there is some negligence on part of the king in discharging his duty, the intelligent class of men must dethrone him. The intelligent class of men, however, do not occupy the royal throne because they have much more important duties for the welfare of the public. Instead of occupying the royal throne, they prayed for the incarnation of the Lord, and the Lord came as Maharaj Prithu. Real intelligent men or qualified brahmanas never aspire for political posts. Maharaj Prithu excavated many producers from the earth, and thus not only did the citizens become happy to have such a good king, but the complete sight of the earth also became beautiful and attractive. Yesterday I went to Bombay, the huge Bombay city. I must say that I haven't seen the most ugliest sight in my life. This high rising, went downtown. High rising and covered with that smog. As we are going by by going by the ocean. You can't see the ocean, it's all smog. And such a ugly landscape of these tall towers, these high-rising towers. And people are paying crore and crore just to have a room, sea-facing room, apartment. And from their apartment, they're believing this is the best of all. But when I'm passing by, I think this is the ugliest place on earth, So here, say that Prithu Maharaj, he excavated many producers from the earth. And thus, not only did the citizen become happy to have such a good king, but the complete sight of the earth also became beautiful and attractive. So, it's the produce of the earth that is making the earth attractive. So, I don't know how much this is relevant to all of you, but now with all these wars going around us, right? We are just next door. We are neighbors, right? All those who live in India, right? We are next door. Whatever's going on. And actually, it's so hot in Bombay. You can't believe it's in 36 degrees and it's March. It's just spring. Usually, peak of summer, you have 36 degrees, right? And here it's March, end of February itself. And it started, heat. So this heat is coming from where? Any guess?
Due to war.
Yes, the heat is coming from the war. It's heating up the earth with all those missiles, fire. They're throwing. Anushri, can you mute yourself? Anushri, can you mute yourself and put on your video, please? Yeah, so they've...
Mataji, sorry to interrupt. My video is not opening, so I'm just trying.
Oh,
but next
okay.
class, I'll surely work it out.
Okay, fine. Yeah, so they're throwing missile, which is fire, and it's just next door to India, right? So the heat this is called global warming, right? Who was. So Maharaj Prithu, his father was this type of what we are having right now. This is the type of king that's existing right now. And Prabhupada is writing, and this is from Bhagavatam, he should be dethroned. If we have such a king, he should be dethroned, right? So, dethroned, and it's called maladministration due to the vicious life of the previous king. Anyway, I can't go political on, on this platform, but everybody knows what's going on. Looks like everybody's following the news, so everybody knows what's going on, right? So, in one word, Prabhupada is saying maladministration and dethroning the king. And he said that, who would dethrone? According to you, who will dethrone?
Public.
Public will dethrone.
The intelligent class, it says. So.
Intelligent class, they will dethrone, will dethrone the king. Who's the intelligent class right now? Who will dethrone the kings?
The intelligent class is usually the Brahmins.
So I'm asking, where are the Brahmanas who are going to dethrone all those kings?
There's no Brahman.
But they are getting dethroned? Are they getting dethroned? I'm speaking now politics around us, because this Prithu Maharaj is all about kingship. How is it happening?
The population, the public only.
Public is putting and public is removing.
They would agitate and then they are not voted to power again.
The laws of nature, we should not forget. Right? Should not forget that nobody is free in this world. We should know that the world belongs to Krishna. Ishavasyam idam sarvam, right? Entire world, including the planetary systems, the earth, the human beings, the animals, the forests, the mountains, everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. And when people play like this, they play with missiles, right? Literally, it's like you're watching a football match. Literally, that's how people are taking it, except for those who are in it. For them, it's not a football match. The entire world is watching as if who will win, right? And so these two parties, they forget that there is a supreme controller, right? If we overplay our time or our role, then time will catch us, right? The cosmic law, right? Catch up with us. So this is what happened here. What happened in the time of Prithu Maharaj is happening right now. So Prabhupada is saying that the intelligent class of men, they have no political agenda. It's not that, they dethrone a king and then they put themselves on the throne. They have more important duties to do. What do you think is the important duties? Anybody among you would like to be an administrator?
Like educating, the Brahmanas had the duties of educating the children.
Yeah, the two work here. One is the two work here. One is administration, and the other one is what?
To make them Krishna conscious or to spread the spiritual knowledge.
Yeah. Ashwini, you've been an administrator, right? What was your work? What was your work? Tell me. Administration.
Yeah, taking care of the smooth functioning of the organization or the department, basically. And arrange for the things, arrange for well-being of people. So arrange for whatever they need to work efficiently, to arrange for all the requirements. They require computers and all, so everything.
Yeah. Administration means headache, right?
Oh, yeah. Big headache. It's thankless job.
Right? And you waste your time and life only in, manages other people's whims, right? Basically, that's what it is. Managing the nature of this one, managing the nature of that other one, making this party work with that other party, supervising and making sure that there is nothing missing in the line, the coordination, right? That somebody was just relaxed, miss out on this and that, right? You think those Brahmanas are going to do this work? I'm thinking this is just a small company working as an administrator in a small company. Now to do administration work for the entire world. So the Brahmanas say, you do. You like this type of thing, you do, right? advise, they will put and they will remove. They put somebody on the throne and they remove from the throne. Right? And the person is not proper. So that's why it said that the real intelligent men or qualified brahmanas never aspire for political post. I don't know what happened, but looks like, I don't know, when it became independent, I think all those brahmanas who threw out, the ruling party, they themselves occupied political posts instead of giving advice, placing proper administrators there. Looks like they occupied political posts and therefore it was disaster. So those who are actual administrators have to do administration work. Okay, so this is about administration. Now, text 15. Rupam sa jagrihe matsyam chakshusho dadhi samplave nagyarupya mahimayam apad vevasvataham manu. When there was a complete inundation after the period of the Chakshusha Manu, and the whole world was deep within water, the Lord accepted the form of a fish and protected Vasvat Manu, picking him up on a boat. Shripad Sridhara Swami, the original commentator on the Bhagavatam, there is not always a devastation after the change of every Manu. And yet this inundation after the period of Chakshusha Manu took place in order to show some wonders to Satyavrata. But Sri Jiva Goswami has given definite proofs from authoritative scriptures like Vishnu Dharmotara, Markandeya Puran, Harivamsh, etc., that there is always a devastation after the end of each and every Manu. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has also supported Srila Jiva Goswami, and he, Sri Chakravarti, has also quoted from Bhagavatamrita about this inundation after each Manu. Apart from this, the Lord, in order to show special favor to Satyavrata, a devotee of the Lord in this particular period, incarnated himself. So this verse now, this is very important. So you see different acharyas are having what? Different opinion. All right. Different acharyas. So Sridhar Swami says this thing, Jiva Goswami and Srila Chakravarti Thakur said, no, it's something different. And they proved that no, this is how it happens. So, reconciling the difference. So it's the difference of opinion among commentators. So how do we reconcile the difference? So what do we say? That the Lord wanted to show special favor to Satyavrata, so therefore he incarnated himself. Anyway, don't worry too much about all this. Text 16. Sura Suranam Udhadim Matnatam Mandarachalam Nadre Kamatha Rupena Rishta Ekadashe Vibhu. Okay, Manaji, please. Read.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The 11th incarnation of the Lord took the form of a tortoise, whose shell served as a pivot for the Mandarachala hill, which was being used as a churning rod by the theists and atheists of the universe. Purport: once both the atheists and the theists were engaged in producing nectar from the sea, so that all of them could become deathless by drinking it. At that time, the Mandarachal hill was used as the churning rod, and the shell of Lord Tortoise, the incarnation of Godhead, became the resting place, which is pivot, of the hill in the sea water.
Yes, so in so what they do, so this tortoise incarnation, right? So now when this whole thing happened, so they say, in this Vedic astronomy and all this, So if they want to predict, about different natural events, catastrophes, etc., that happen on planet Earth, so they will use this, what they call Kurma Chakra. They make a Kurma Chakra and then they plot. They have their methods. Then they plot and they will predict where the disaster will happen. They use this this Kurma avatar. So these are not fairy tales or legends or mythology. If this was mythology, this verse that we just read, if it was mythology, then those who know the science would not be using this Kurma Chakra to predict where the tsunami is going to happen, where the earthquake will happen, and God knows what. They can predict using that Kurma Chakra. So all proof that this incarnation, like we just read about Prithu Maharaj. So why did I bring it to our present day situation? Because so that you don't say, oh yeah, Prithu Maharaj bygone age. So they are very much present. Okay, Shikina, you want to read? Text 17.
Thank you,
Dhanvan-
Mataji.
yeah.
Hare Krishna. Dhanvantaram द्वादशं त्रयोदशम् दशमम एव च अपाययन्त सूरान्य अन्यान् मोहिन्या मोहयन् स्त्रिया. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In the 12th incarnation, the Lord appeared as Dhanvantari, and in the 13th, he allured the atheists by the charming beauty of a woman and gave nectar to the demigods to drink. Should I go on?
So now this is Dhanvantari. Everybody knows Dhanvantari, right? There is a day, Dhanteras, is it? When they worship Dhanvantari. And then, of course, the Mohini Murti. So after Dhanvantari came, so the whole fight started. Right then, to settle the fight, so Mohini Murti came. Yeah, continue.
Text 18. Chaturdasham Narasiham Vipraदैत्येन्द्रमूर्तिजam Dadara Karje Vira Everakam Katakrudyatha. In the 14th incarnation, the Lord appeared as Narasimha and bifurcated the strong body of the atheist Hiranyakashipu with his nails, just as a carpenter pierces the cane.
My God, what example, what example. Katakrit carpenter, Erakam, you're almost hearing it, the sound is cane. Erakam, Katakrit. My God, Bhagavatam is very graphic, no? So, no, Nrsimhadev appeared 14th incarnation and bifurcated. What is the meaning of bifurcated?
इनका मतलब आना नहीं था तय, लिखा नहीं था, ऐसे ही आ गए.
No, bifurcated. What is the meaning of the word bifurcated?
Make it into half.
Yeah, he put it, in two, bifurcated,
Bifurcated. Okay, okay.
open, right?
Nursing.
Made into two. Yes, open up the belly of this is Hiranyakashipu, his name, just as a carpenter pierces cane, right? Yeah, Rashmi, you want to read?
पञ्चदशं वामनकं कृत्वा गा दद्वरं बले पत्रयं याचमनः याचमानः प्रत्यादिष्टु स्त्रीपिष्टपम्. In the 15th incarnation, the Lord assumed the form of a dwarf Brahman, Vaman, and visited the arena of sacrifice arranged by Maharaj Bali. Although at heart he was willing to regain the kingdom of the three planetary systems, he simply asked for a donation of 3 steps of land. The Almighty God can bestow upon anyone the kingdom of the universe from a very small beginning, and similarly, he can take away the kingdom of the universe on the plea of begging a small piece of land.
This Vaman, the Almighty God can bestow upon anyone the kingdom of the universe from a very small beginning, right? And similarly, he can take away the kingdom, of the universe on the plea of begging a small piece of land. So, if we have only small piece of land, then we should know this is what Krishna wants to give us, right? He's not giving us the whole universe, so meaning Krishna is giving us that much, that's our quota, right? And if we have so much, or whatever we have, and it's still within our custody, and it is not being taken away, we should know that this is the mercy of the Supreme Lord. I'm not losing what I have. This is a very good message. Yeah, unfortunately, when you have something, there are so many people who are ready to take it away from you, right? It happens on individual levels, and it's happening on countries itself, right? The whole war that's going on is on that basis. Somebody wants to take somebody else's land. That's why they're fighting, right? It's terrible. It's terrible, like we very innocently read like children, Kam, Kro, Loba, Moha, Matsarya, Madhya, right? And we read in book Prabhupada says everybody wants to be a lord and master of the world, So why is it that Shishopanishad is starting? Ishopanishad is not a small book. That Upanishad is not a small book, but it starts with something so insignificant. An instruction that is so insignificant that you feel ashamed to even utter this. Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kinchit jagatam jagat. Tena tyaktena bhunjita magrita kasasvidhanam. You feel ashamed, such a high literature has to speak such a small, insignificant truth. Everything belongs to the Supreme Lord, right? And everybody has a quota. A quota has been given to everybody, and we should respect our quota, and we should not go and take somebody else's quota, knowing well to whom it belongs, because the whole world belongs to the Supreme Lord. So if you go and capture somebody else's land, right, you are trying to capture the land of the Lord, which he has given to a particular group of people, right? So you can imagine what is this material world. Not a fit place for a gentleman. As Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, this material world is not a fit place for a gentleman. So if we consider ourselves gentle ladies, then we should not live in this world. We should go out. Right? To join Krishna in Vaikuntha, where people are decent, right? No kam, krodh, lobha, moha, matsarya, mad. Right? That place where this type of mentality doesn't exist. So Bali Maharaj, he captured the land of Indra. He captured the kingdom of Indra. So Vamandev came to get back the kingdom from Bali Maharaj. Anyway, we are going to study all this if we manage to reach there. I don't think so, because it has taken me maybe 10 years to come to 10 to 6. So I don't think I don't think we will reach. Okay, Ashwini, you want to read? Ashwini? Ashwini!
Yeah, Mataji. I was
You-
trying to find. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. You can hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. The X20. Avatare षोडशमे पश्यन् ब्रह्मद्रुहो नृपान् त्रिसप्तकृतः पितो क्षत्रामकरोन्महिम्. Translation. In the 16th incarnation of the Godhead, the Lord, as Bhragupati, annihilated the administrative class, Kshatriyas, 21 times, being angry with them because of their rebellion against the Brahmanas, the intelligent class. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Kshatriyas, or the administrative class of men, are expected to rule the planet by the direction of the intelligent class of men. Give direction to the rulers in terms of the standard Shastras, or the books of revealed knowledge. The rulers carry on the administration according to that direction. Whenever there is disobedience on the part of the Kshatriyas or the administrative class, against the orders of the learned and intelligent Brahmanas, the administrators are removed by force from the post and arrangement is made for better administration.
Again, same point, right? Like Prithu Maharaj. His father was dethroned and he was placed on the throne. So again comes the same point that Kshatriyas, they are not independent. They cannot rule independently. They must follow the direction of the Brahmanas. And from where would the Brahmanas get the direction? From where?
From the scriptures, Shastras,
From the
standard Shastras.
Yes, yes, from the Shastras. So, so when our Shastras are thrown out of the window, then where will there be any direction, right? You can't cook it up in your head, right? Because you will have your opinion, I will have my opinion, we'll fight, right? So it's unending. So anyway, here it says, whenever there is disobedience on the part of the Kshatriyas or the administrative class against the orders of the learned and intelligent Brahmanas, meaning against Shastra. And what is Shastra? From where is Shastra coming?
From Krishna.
हाँ, भगवान की वाणी, भगवान के मुख से.
Yes. You cannot trace the origin of the Shastra, right? But it's coming and it is foolproof. If you disobey it, then you create havoc, right? And when the havoc is created, then the order will be reset, and you don't know what is this invisible forces that is restoring the equilibrium. You can't understand what's going on. Who is doing what? It's like 1 + 1 equal to 2 is natural, but you can't understand why is it that 1 + 1 equal to 2 is not happening. Example. A huge country thought it will swallow a small country, and it's not happening. Everybody knows if I'm strong and bullying, I can just go and take away the small. It's not happening. Right? So it's not that each and every plan that I make, I think that's exactly how it will work. Right? So whatever is going on in this world, so again comes the administrative class, Kshatriyas against the Brahmanas. So if the Brahmanas have vanished, or a handful are left, and they are still speaking their Vani, they're still distributing the books, they're distributing the knowledge, they're distributing Harinam. So the administrative class may not see that force, they may not see that force, but that force is reacting against them. Shastra, the holy name, prasadam, these are huge outreach. They're buffers to protect the world. Right? So on the other side, they think they're free. They can just act the way they are. But here, the Supreme Lord is appearing in the form of the holy name. Right? In the form of his katha. In the form of his prasadam. So therefore, that force is invisible to those who are maladministrative class. They don't realize, they don't know. So just like people are throwing physical missile, right? I heard that they are from, it's only happening, in the air from a distance, right? Similarly, each and every one of you, if from your home you're chanting and doing Bhagavad Katha, this is the incarnation of the Supreme Lord, and it is carrying across the world. And we are united because this is an international movement, right? So across the world, we are creating a network, all right? We are creating a network of Krishna Nam, which is not perceivable by those who are atheists, but it is halting. It is actually halting disaster. Because if that was not happening, and if this does not happen, then the entire world will be wiped out. Entire world will be wiped out because they believe they're in control, but actually they're not in control. So they are doing their own thing. So the Kshatriyas or administrative class of men are expected to rule the planet by the direction of the Brahmanas. Okay? Whenever there is disobedience on the part of the Kshatriyas or the administrative class against the orders of the learned and intelligent Brahmanas, the administrators are removed by force from the post. By force. So who's that force? You believe the people who threw out a government? Do you really believe this?
No, Mataji. It's Lord.
They may be instruments or whatever, right? They're removed by force.
Yeah.
Each and every one of you at work, you don't like somebody. Can you make that person leave? Right? You leave. You let the person go on. You leave. Right? So here, the administrators are removed by force from their posts. An arrangement is made for better administration. Oh my God. Anyway, we hope better administration will happen in this world.
Looks like cleansing is happening now. What we always have read it, and we actually are experiencing it and seeing it, Maybe we can say that we are fortunate to see this change. Otherwise, sometimes we feel, these are words. I mean, we know how Hiranyakashipu has been taken care of. But now we are seeing it.
Yeah. Yes, so this is about Bhrigupati, Parasuram, Bhrigupati, right? So he cleansed the earth of Kshatriyas who actually they killed his father, Janmejai. I forgot his father's name.
Jamadagni.
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 Right? So he's a Brahmana. So these Kshatriyas, they kill his father who is a Brahmana. So therefore he wiped them out. Okay, anyway, there's a lot of history. I can't get into all this because I can't remember the details also. But, this is how people moved into the Middle East and further. So the Parasuram's axe and his power spread everywhere. There's a lot of history, very ancient history. But the point is that however far you may go in time, if the same anartha is there, anger, pride, right? Right? Whether you live 10 million years back or now, if the same problem is continued, then what's the use of life? We're carrying forward, the same anarthas. Desire for post, prestige, rulership over others, what's the use? Meaning our life is a failure, right? Okay, Anushri, are you prepared? You have the book? Canto 1?
Mataji, just feel that, are we reading these verses at the right time?
Yeah. Everything we read is at the right time, isn't it? I think so far, whatever we read, everything has been at the right time. Krishna wants us to become self-realized, isn't it? So Krishna say, okay, here it is. See it in front of you. Anushri, you have the book?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, text 21.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Next.
तथा सप्तादशे जाता सत्यवत्यं पराशरत् चक्रे वेदतरो शाखा दृष्टवा पुंसो अल्पमेधसा. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thereafter, in the 17th incarnation of Godhead, Sri Vyasadeva appeared in the womb of Satyavati through Parashara Muni, and he divided the one Veda into several branches and sub-branches, seeing that the people in general were less intelligent. Purport. Originally, the Veda is one, but Srila Vyasadeva divided the original Veda into four, namely Sama, Yaju, Rig, Atharva. And then again, they were explained in different branches like the Puranas and the Mahabharata. Vedic language and the subject matter are very difficult for ordinary men. They are understood by the highly intelligent and self realized Brahmanas. But the present age of Kali is full of ignorant men. Even those who are born by a Brahmana father are, in the present age, no better than the Sudras or the women. The twice born men, namely the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, are expected to undergo a cultural purificatory process known as samskaras. But because of the bad influence of the present age, the so called members of the Brahmana and the other higher order families are no longer highly cultured. They are called the Dvija Bandhus, or the friends and family members of the twice born. But these Dvaja Bandhus are classified amongst the Shudras and the women. Srila Vyasadeva divided the Vedas into various branches and sub branches for the sake of the less intelligent classes like the Dvija Bandhus, Shudras, and women. Haribol.
So the result of this all, the result of it all is that the Stri, Vaishya, and Dvija, the Stri, Shudra, Dvija, Bandhu, they're able to understand. And therefore they can take full benefit of the Vedic literature and they can go back home, back to Godhead. Is it true? Is it true? No, Ashwini, it's not true.
Oh, sorry. You said they can they can understand the scriptures and go back. That's what you said, right? I missed because there is little bad connection in my end. I missed the question.
Yes, so the purport of this purport is that if we study Prabhupada's books as given by Srila Vyasadeva, Srila Vyasadeva has made the Veda one Ved into so many parts, and it is exactly appropriate for the less intelligent classes like the Dvija, Bandhu, Shudras, and women, meaning it is accessible to their brain, right? Only thing that we have to do is what? What do we have to do, Mala? What do we have to do?
Read it, stay consistent, and believe it.
Correct. We just have to read them, study them, and in Bhakti Yoga, and anyway, just the general process. You go on reading again and again and again, repetition. All right? Repetition. Again and again, you read, and then one day you understand. I think many of us here who have been reading sufficiently, I mean, in terms of years, I think we're understanding much better, right? It's the same purport, right? The same book, it's the same purport. And we have heard from millions of speakers, right? And we are understanding as if it's clear as daylight, right? How come? How come? Right? So, meaning that Srila Vyasadeva, what he did, which has been carried forward by the Guru Parampara to Srila Prabhupada, has made it accessible to the less intelligent class of people. When we are understanding, it means, provided, as Malaji said, we should be consistent, faithful, not touch and go. Whenever I'm free, I will look at it. Right? Consistent. Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya. Right? Little sacrifice is asked. Right? Little sacrifice only. Give your time, that's all. Give your time, give your ears to listening to this Bhagavad Katha. And if we do it, promise is given, we will overcome the cycle of birth and death. So Prabhupada is speaking about the samskar. The twice born men, namely the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, are expected to undergo a cultural purification process known as samskaras. All right, so here Prabhupada is speaking about this. Are we doing it in our families? Are we doing it in our families, or is it that we know only one or two samskar? When you get married, there's one samskar. When you die, there's another samskar. Now, today, people don't even want to do the marriage samskar, right? So I don't know whether they do anything at death also. Before birth, they're supposed to do. After birth, they're supposed to do. Nothing is done, no samskara, so you remain less than Shudra. This is a symptom of Shudra. When no samskara is done, it means we are Shudras. Shudras don't pay attention to all this. Right? So if the Brahmanas, they are not doing any samskar, then they are known as, my father was a Brahmana. Okay? My father, my grandfather was a Brahmana. But I'm not a Brahmana. Right? So I'm a Dvija Bandhu. Friend, Dvija Bandhu. I come from a family of Brahmana. But what am I doing? I'm doing any work. I behave the way I feel like. I know no scripture. I don't take bath. I speak lies. I take up any type of job from anywhere in the world. Right? So when we do all this type of thing, then we have become, my father was a Brahmana. Dvija Bandhu. I don't know where I read this. I think among the Puranas somewhere. You know, like it described the systematic degradation from the stage of Brahmana down, 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 you know, and then finally it comes to this label. Therefore, you are known as this. But because the Shastras are not available, because the Shastras were just kept in the custody of a few people and not opened up to the whole world, right? So if the Shastras were in the hands of proper Brahmanas, it's safe, it's good. But if you are not proper, you become Dvija Bandhu, and you are capturing and holding onto the Shastra, you're not letting the world know the truth, right? Then the world remains in ignorance, and they continue to worship you, the Brahmana, so-called Brahmana, and do all the, you know, etiquette, etc. To the Brahmana. The Brahmana is going to hell, and the follower is going to hell also, right? So Prabhupada is so merciful, right? Srila Prabhupada is so merciful. He's denouncing, right? He's denouncing all this type of false Brahmanas, and he's re-establishing the proper Brahminical culture, the proper Brahminical order in great details. You know, somehow my curiosity gets pricked by so many things that comes up on YouTube. Lately, some different civilizations popped up, maybe because of this whole Iran war, so people start talking about the Persian, you know, civilization, Indian civilization. I don't know why, but suddenly some things started popping up, you know. And see, these are things that I had heard when I was a child in history book, and I was not in the least interested in history, believe me. Not in the least interested. But now, because I'm studying Bhagavatam, and these ideas are coming back. It is spread throughout Shrimad Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, you know. So when these topics are popping up, so I'm just listening, And I found out how civilization come and go. Civilization come and go. Just like here, Brigupati, what did he do? He removed all those Kshatriya kings, false Kshatriya kings, meaning their civilization, their kingdom, everything was finished. Right? And we hear about other places, how their flourishing kingdom became desert. Right? Became absolute desert. Right? So things change. So when I'm studying and looking at how fragile a civilization is, and usually the fall down comes when the top leader become proud. They start misusing their powers. So there is a systematic degradation and vanishing of entire civilization. So our wonderful Bombay, which sprouted up, I think, from the last 50 years. I don't know, those who have lived here that many years, they can attest that the way Bombay is today, 50 years ago, it was not like that. Right? We should expect that one day Bombay also will be finished. Right? If it has happened again and again in different places in the world, why should we think that and live in dream world that Bombay will live for eternity? Or whichever city you are living in, right? The surface of the earth keeps on shifting. The Kurma shifts. It changes the demography, the geology, and everything of the earth. The face of the earth, and your city goes along with it. Your people goes along with it, right? Why I'm saying this? After I've heard, I suddenly realized, I'm just sharing you my thoughts. Srila Prabhupada has given us a warning. He gave us a gift and a warning. He said, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is ushering in 10,000 years of a golden age within this Kali Yuga. The best of it, because that 10,000 years will go very fast. The civilization that I'm talking about, they are dating 4,000 years, 5,000 years that came and disappeared. So 10,000 years is nothing. If we are going to sit and relax and say, today, tomorrow, I'm going to do it, you should know that that opportunity of a semblance, nobody's promising that proper Vedic culture will flourish, but a semblance of it may remain. And the essence of it is Harinam. It is Harinam and Krishna Katha. So even though the external may not look exactly the way of a Vedic civilization, but the essence of it, which is Harinam and Krishna Katha, this is sufficient to keep us safe and remove us from this material world. You know? So, one war is going on, but message after message is being thrown at us, right? If we are just receptive, we are able to catch what are the messages that are being sent to us. So we have to be thoughtful. And to me, if all of you are here, I accept that you're thoughtful women. So therefore, need to little deeper. This 10,000 years is just like a bubble will disappear. This text 20 said the same thing. The Kshatriya rulers vanished. Right? And text 21 is saying that the proper literature is being given. If we take advantage of these literatures, then we can go back home, back to Godhead. No problem. All right. So that was quite interesting, right? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Should we
Thank you
take
so much, Mataji.
Krishna?
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare
Thank you very
Krishna.
Krishna. Patitanam Bhavnebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I have a question. Can I ask quickly?
Yes, if it's okay with the others. We are past 7 now here.
Mataji, this verse we were talking about Brahmins. So those Brahmins who are in Brahmanical, who have been born in Brahmin families, and they may not have that much knowledge of Shastra, but they are doing the rituals. And so we come across them, especially on Yatra, we go to the Dham, so we come across them. So we respect them because they are Brahmins, they are earning their living. But when it comes to giving donations to them, we should give them donations.
Of course.
We
Of
should,
course.
yes, ma'am.
Of course. Of course we must give.
So, I'm talking about those pandas, like those pandas who, you go to Barsan or you go to any other places in the Dham when you are going around. So they will come and ask you. So they are all Brahmins. So we gave generously to them. So that is fine, no, Mataji?
Yeah, we must give. How would they live?
Yes.
We must give.
So they
See,
are not rich bandhus.
See, it doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter. The Dvija Bandhus, they're outright out of, like they are doing different things. They're doing different. See, the thing is that you have to take risk. If these pandas do not maintain the temple, will you be able to take darshan? They're maintaining the temple, isn't it?
Yes, Mataji.
Remember Jagannath Puri. Jagannath Puri. So we were in the train and somebody from, this old panda family, whatever it was. So they explained to us, they lost everything from being dominated. The temples have been taken over. They lost their means of livelihood. So they had to depend on the donation that people will give, and there was no system, no rule. So whoever's there, they grab, so they harass people. Then their children, they said, we are not going to do this work. So therefore, the population of Brahmanas, they vanished from the temples. And therefore, the temples became completely deserted and neglected. But now, I think by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, because ISKCON is setting up so many temples with proper standards, right? Others start to pick up. So when we start to preach, we start to have knowledge, then the real ones, they start to realize, no, we should learn, because we have to understand that they lost their position for multiple reasons. Maybe initially it was just from pride, right? But then they got overtaken by, outcasts, you could say. They got overtaken and they became more fallen. You know, it's okay. You're not going to be a loser,
Yes.
right? You're not going to be a loser. Householders are meant to give charity to Brahmanas. It's their duty, right? And because we can't distinguish between this one and that one, so what to do? And your whole life, whole day will be spoiled because you didn't give, right? At least be peaceful. I given. It's over. Is it not? Yeah, you'll blame yourself. Why did I not give? So you give, it's over. Finish. See, we can't analyze too much, right? But we are not going to follow their advice.
Mm.
We're not going to take instructions from them. We will go and find who is a proper instructor. Right? Is it okay? I mean, all of you do yatras, right? All of you, isn't it?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.